We are in part 11, beyond designations, but highlighting regional differences. In that, we are in chapter 3, the India mission. So, in that, we are in Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurumritam Yat Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Namane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Guruvana Picharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Tishitarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhutyananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Lokam karati vachalam gnam gayati kirim kripatabham mande shiktaranam paramanandam madhvam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Guruve Gaurachandra Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Akishaya Svadani Lakshmi Jasudabhakshudya Syasve Hridaya Samritam Rasamaham Yanta Pravisham Majamam Prasuptam Sajiva Yate Kalashakti Dharasvadam Nanyam Chasta Charana Shravana Tugadi Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Niji Guru Harivanya Krishna Chitto Vichintu Karata Patrigeha Danda Samsara Kopaha Prabhu Bhajan Sukabdo Majjan Samsabhishwa Bhujat Vikaso Bhakti Hare Krishna. So, we'll continue to read from Bhaktivedanta Swami Charitable Trust from this essay. Just days before his departure, Srila Prabhupada oversaw the funding of the Bhaktivedanta Swami Charitable Trust with the aim to develop Gauda Mandala, the places in Bengal directly connected to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The places in Bengal directly connected to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes and principal followers. Among the stated goals, to bring all the members of Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya together nearer to Lord Chaitanya, to cement a relationship with all the sister temples of the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya under one manner, to solidify preaching the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as desired by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod and all the previous acharyas in this line. Among the envisaged tasks were to renovate the pastime places of Lord Chaitanya and his personal associates and to assist the temples of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers. Okay. Bangladesh. Seeing Bangladesh as a very good field, Srila Prabhupada sent several letters in 1972 expressing his enthusiasm and giving instructions for preaching there. Go to Bangladesh for preaching. They must be preached that this thinking, I am Hindu or I am Muslim, is not any solution. We want unification of Hindus and Muslims, unification of all faiths and peoples, and the method of being done by our Krishna consciousness movement. The intelligentsia and leaders of Bangladesh must be preached to and informed of the activities of our society. Kirtan will soften their hearts. If possible, see Mujibur Rahman, president of Bangladesh, and show him evidence that Parsis, Jews, Christians, Muslims, all parties are participating in this Krishna consciousness movement. So why should the Bangladesh Muslims not join? We want to unite everyone culturally. Bangladesh, that is a great opportunity. And when Americans will speak about this philosophy, the Muslims in Bangladesh will agree to hear and it will be very convincing. Try to convince upon them the high philosophy we follow. This is the only means to unify the whole world. If the Americans can take up this movement seriously, why not the Bangladeshis? Try to meet with the uneducated public, and if you can convince them, it will be a great service. We are trying to unify the whole population of this globe by this cultural movement. There are blessings of Lord Chaitanya in this connection, and if we try sincerely, it will be successful. In Bangladesh, Srila Prabhupada wanted huge prasad distribution and huge book distribution, and he wrote, if you go to Bangladesh and establish a center, it will be a great achievement. Part 12, highest welfare work. Okay. So we will. Okay, Kartikeya, you can read. We have a
Yes,
new
Prabhuji.
devotee over here. Just a second. We have a new devotee, Charvi. I don't know. I'm not able to make out whether it's a male or a female. Can you please introduce yourself? You're from which part of the world? Hare Krishna. Is it Mataji? Charvi? Haribol? Not able to hear? She left. Okay.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please.
Hare Krishna. There is some disturbance, I think. I don't know. Okay, Kartikeya, you can start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Part 12, highest welfare work. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. By his work, thoughts, and words, an intelligent man must perform actions which will be beneficial for all living entities in this life and next. Personifying the spirit of these verses and declaring the best friend and the benefactor of all people is one who awakens humanity to its original Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada founded ISKCON as a non lucrative organization whose purpose is to promote the well being of human society by drawing its attention to God. Because Krishna consciousness offers the highest benediction, it is the highest welfare work. The Krishna consciousness movement is not a fad. It is a bona fide movement intended to promote the welfare of all conditioned souls by trying to elevate everyone to the platform of Krishna consciousness. One should note definitely that the best welfare activity for all of human society is to awaken man's God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Therefore, everyone should help this great movement. Hare Krishna. Whatever else may be considered to be beneficial is automatically included within Krishna consciousness. People misunderstand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he did not open any hospital, because he did not canvass for the undertakers, or because he did not labor for any so called social welfare work. But in fact, what he did includes all varieties of social, political, humanitarian, altruistic, moral, and spiritual work. Para Upakar is a term Srila
Yes.
Prabhupada.
Excuse. Here, Prabhupada is saying that people misunderstand him because he did not open any hospital. It's directly hitting the point. He did not canvass for undertakers because he did not labor for so-called social work. Prabhupada, you see here, and if somebody is opening a hospital, why you give so much importance? I don't understand. So here Prabhupada is writing, people misunderstand that he did not open hospital. How will anybody answer this? And we want to gain the attention of the public by opening a hospital. This is our, what I can say, deviated mentality. Hare Krishna. Yes, continue.
Yes, Prabhuji, next page.
Okay. Yes.
Para Upakar is a term Srila Prabhupada often quoted from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Upakar means benefit, welfare, and para means of others or highest. Para Upakar means spreading Krishna consciousness. This Paropakar business, welfare activities to spread all over the world, is the most important business at the present moment. It will unite everyone politically, socially, culturally, religiously, in every way. Krishna consciousness is most auspicious for all living beings. Srila Rupa Goswami has given a definition of auspiciousness. He says that actual auspiciousness means welfare activities for all the people of the world. At the present moment, groups of people are engaged in welfare activities in terms of society, community, or nation. There is even an attempt in the form of the United Nations for World Health Activity. But due to the shortcomings of limited national activities, such a general mass welfare program for the whole world is not practically possible. The Krishna consciousness movement, however, is so nice that it can render the highest benefit to the entire human race. Everyone can be attracted by this movement and everyone can feel the result. Therefore, Rupa Goswami and other learned scholars agree that a broad propaganda program for the Krishna consciousness movement of devotional service all over the world is the highest humanitarian welfare activity. How the Krishna consciousness movement can attract the attention of the whole world and how each and every man can feel pleasure in this Krishna consciousness is stated in the Padma Purana as follows. A person who is engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is to be understood to be doing the best service to the whole world and to be pleasing everyone in the world. In addition to human society, he is pleasing even the trees and animals because they also become attracted by such a movement. A practical example of this was shown by Lord Chaitanya when he was traveling through the forest of Jharkhand in central India for spreading his Sankirtan movement. The tigers, the elephants, the deers, and all the other wild animals joined him and were participating in their own ways by dancing and chanting Hare Krishna. Amid different opinions about what constitutes the best welfare activity, Srila Prabhupada explained why Krishna consciousness is topmost. Different people may accept certain welfare activities to be beneficial for human society according to their own views, but the welfare activity that can be rendered to people in general for eternal benefit is the spreading of the Krishna consciousness movement. Other welfare activities cannot be effective, and thus the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. There are different kinds of welfare activities in this material world, but the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. Other welfare activities cannot be effective for the laws of nature and the results of karma cannot be checked. It is by destiny or the laws of karma that one must suffer or enjoy. For instance, if one is given a court order, he must accept it whether it brings suffering or profit. Similarly, everyone is under obligations to karma and its reactions. No one can change this. If one tries to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, he should be understood to be performing the best welfare activity. The Lord is automatically very pleased with him. The best welfare activity is raising people to the platform of Krishna consciousness, since the conditioned souls are suffering only for want of Krishna consciousness. All the Shastras conclude, therefore, that spreading the Krishna consciousness movement is the best welfare activity in the world. Because of the ultimate benefit this bestows upon people in general, the Lord very quickly recognizes such service performed by a devotee. Our mission is very big. the best welfare work. Other welfare activities keep them as gokhara, animalistic, and promises all sorts of big promises. No, we do not say. Our mission is to enlighten him that he is not the body, he is spirit soul. Real mercy means preaching Krishna consciousness. We must know what actual mercy is. To give a sick man something forbidden for him to eat is not mercy, rather, it is cruelty. Unless we know what mercy really is, we may create an undesirable situation. If we wish to show real mercy, we will preach Krishna consciousness in order to revive the lost consciousness of human beings, the living entity's original consciousness. The recipients of charity might not even appreciate it, yet gradually the practical observable results of Krishna consciousness will become appreciated. In the material world, one may collect funds all over the world in order to distribute food freely. Yet, those to whom the food is given may not even feel appreciative. The value of Krishna consciousness, however, will gradually be very much appreciated. For instance, in an article about the temple of the Hare Krishna movement in Durban, South Africa, the Durban Post reported, all the devotees here are very active in the service of Lord Krishna, and the results are obvious to see happiness, good health, peace of mind, and the development of all good qualities.
You see here, Prabhupada is very nicely saying that in the material world, one may collect funds all over the world in order to distribute food freely. Yet those to whom the food is given may not even feel appreciative. You see, such a thing. It's a great statement. Actually, devotees should be shown this again and again. Even if people may think it is prasad, but I don't know. If you give free food also, that doesn't make people appreciative of it, because it is said people will not be thankful of it unless until you give prasad to them. Of course, devotees are saying that they are giving prasad, but what kind of prasad is there? Krishna only knows. The workers come, whatever midday meals going on all over the world, all over India. It is just a free food, they advertise as food, they don't advertise as prasad, they advertise as food. So if you're doing food, then people will not be appreciative of it. But the value of Krishna consciousness will gradually be very appreciated. This is what. And those devotees who do all these so-called welfare activities should be shown this. This one statement is enough for their all thing. But they don't understand. In the name of this one, it is coming from Madhu Pandit, first of all. First, he is the guy who started all this nonsense. Akshay Patra is the main, what I can say, main deviation in ISKCON. It happened long back. And then it spread, the cancer spread among the ISKCON devotees. Brainless people are doing all this nonsense. Yes, Prabhu, somebody else can read. Okay. Okay, Prabhu, Paramatmananda Prabhu, you can start.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Bestowing knowledge. The greatest contribution to human society is knowledge. Suffering is caused by ignorance, so to enlighten others about their relationship with Krishna is the greatest welfare activity. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. The best way to show mercy is to spread Krishna consciousness. The entire world is suffering for want of this knowledge. People should note that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original cause of everything. Mundane altruists can help others because they do not know how.
Hare Krishna, mundane altruists
Yes,
cannot, you said can.
huh?
Mundane altruists cannot help. You read can?
Yes. No, no, cannot help. Yes,
Okay.
mundane altruists cannot help others because they do not know how. Unless one has clear vision, how can he do welfare activities? You do not know what is welfare. If one's vision is clouded, if you do not know what is the destination of your journey, how you can make progress. Those who are prepared to do good to human society must have clear vision. Delivering this knowledge of the difference between the eternal soul and the temporary body, and that factual benefit for the soul lies in surrendering to Krishna, is the only way to genuinely benefit human society. All other attempts are at best misinformed. We are not the body, we are the spiritual beings trapped in the body. Our real interest lies in understanding this simple fact. Then we can make further spiritual progress. Otherwise, if we remain in the bodily conception of life, our miserable material existence will continue forever. Political adjustments, social welfare work, medical assistance, and the other programs we have manufactured for peace and happiness will never endure. We shall have to undergo the sufferings of material life one after another. All decent men want to give service to humanity. The only thing is they do not have information really what is that service. Hospitals feeding the poor, Red Cross, these are service to the bodies only, not to the man. Service to human Service to humanity means jnana. Giving people knowledge, jnana, is the highest service to humanity. We are performing the actual welfare work of society by informing everyone through our literatures who is God, who they are, and what is the relationship. In this way, everyone who hears our message gets the opportunity to fulfill his actual position as human entity and become delivered from the clutches of Maya. So you may understand that by disseminating our Krishna conscious propaganda anywhere and everywhere, by selling books, by making publicity, newspaper, television, there are so many ways to spread Krishna conscious information. By utilizing our energy in this way to give every one access to the absolute truth. That is the real understanding of the desire to serve humanity. Such welfare is sublime because it affords an opportunity for eternal blissful life. Unfortunately, society has no information of the soul's transmigration because the living entity does not hope to enter the spiritual kingdom of eternal life, bliss, and knowledge. He wants to stick to his present body, even though it may be useless. Consequently, the greatest welfare activity in this material world is the furthering of the Krishna consciousness movement. Distribution of the knowledge in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is the great welfare activity because it awards association with Krishna. If one adheres to these two books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, one is sure to obtain the association of Krishna in the next life. Tyakta deham punarjanma naiti mam iti sa Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Therefore, distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world is a great welfare activity for theologians, philosophers, transcendentalists, and yogis. Yoginam api sarvesham. Bhagavad Gita 6.47, as well as for people in general. What is this 2, Prabhu? Chapter 2?
Yeah, it is chapter 2 of that particular section.
Okay.
We are in this section, you remember, you know that? Okay, I'll show you. We are in the section called highest welfare work, 12. So in that we have read chapter 1. This is chapter 2. Who is poor?
Okay, it is under
Who is
part
hungry?
12. Part 12
We are
of
in part
volume
12. We are in the last part of the chapter, volume 2. That is chapter part 12, highest welfare work. So in that we are reading
Okay,
the
part
chapter 2. Who is poor? Who is hungry?
okay. Okay, means volume 2, part 12, chapter 2.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, chapter 2, who is poor? Who is hungry? A man who is poor in knowledge, he is poor. Otherwise, nobody is poor. Poverty means poverty of knowledge. Unless one has knowledge of Krishna, he is poor. Thus, by spiritual estimation, all men, whether monetarily rich or poor, need Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement means to become compassionate to the poor people. Poor people means those who are poor in spiritual understanding, Krishna consciousness. They are thinking, they are very big men, but they are the poorest because they are losing the chance of understanding Krishna in this human form of life. They are thinking this motor car or this big, high palatial buildings and bank balance.
Palatial buildings.
Okay, palatial. Oh, palatial. Okay. Palatial buildings and bank balance. Big business profits, that is the aim of achievement. No, that is not the aim of achievement. The aim of achievement is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, to understand Brahman. But they are not interested in that aim of achievement. Therefore, they are very, very poor. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to reclaim this poor human being, those who are not interested in spiritual understanding, compassionately perceiving the whole material world to be full of hungry living beings. Srila Prabhupada wanted to feed them all. However, his proposed method of feeding them was based on a radically unconventional understanding of what it means to be hungry. The hunger is not for good food, shelter, or sense gratification. The hunger is for the spiritual atmosphere. Due to ignorance only, people think that the world is dissatisfied because there is not sufficient food, shelter, defense, and objects of sense gratification. This is called illusion. Although the living being is hungry for spiritual satisfaction, his hunger is misunderstood to be material hunger. But the foolish leaders cannot see that even the people who are most sumptuously materially satisfied are still hungry. And what is their hunger and poverty? This hunger is actually for spiritual food, spiritual shelter, spiritual defense, and spiritual sense gratification. This can be obtained in the association of the Supreme Spirit, Lord Sri Krishna. With the spiritual perspective that everyone in this material world is poor, prasad distribution should be to everyone. Temple worship means you must distribute prasad to the poor. Everyone is poor, not that the rich man is not poor. Poor does not mean that one who has no leg, no ears. Everyone who is spiritually poor should be given prasad. It is not poor feeding, it is distributing the resultant action of yajna. If you feed some man, not only the so-called poor, everyone, then they will be freed from their sinful activities. यज्ञ शिष्टाशिना संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्व किल विषय yes. Therefore, prasad distribution, because everyone is engaged simply dushkritina, simply sinful activities, eating everything, doing everything, and their life is full of sinful activities. Therefore, to deliver them, this prasad distribution is required. We are not feeding the
Okay,
hungry
but
people.
we are not advertising like that. The whole advertisement of nowadays in ISKCON is regarding feeding poor. Hunger kills. How many times did I see this particular quote? Hunger kills. No one should go hungry within the 10 miles radius. Mm, This is all atheism. Actually speaking, this is atheism. I don't know whether you can understand this or not. Because atheism means to defy God, and God is the Supreme Father. And who are you to come and say that people are hungry and you want to feed them? Everybody suffers according to their own quota of karma and bad karma, good karma. You can't you can't involve into their life. If you want, you can give Krishna consciousness by which they can come out of karma. But it is not possible to for you to increase their karma. Then you will become responsible for that. Then you will become responsible, and finally you may go to hell for that. This is very risk. This is atheism, actually. Atheism, one type of atheism is to defy God, other type of atheism is to interfere in the affairs of God. You are trying to infiltrate in their karmic reaction. Actually, you are giving them more opportunity to become more lazy. Uh, People are already lazy, already rascal, already fool, already first class stupid people. Uh, and you try to distribute this food, and you become more and more entangled. You both are getting entangled. And if you do it in the name of Krishna consciousness, it is more rascaldom. Actually, you will become more implicated because you know it is. It is you know what is Prabhupada's instruction. You know, still you do it, then आपको भगवान भी बचा नहीं सकता है. You go to a different destination which don't know Krishna. Krishna only knows. Prabhupada only can save you. That's all. Yes, Prabhu Ramdas Prabhu. Yes, you wanted to say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I have heard that there's a quote that Srila Prabhupada says that wherever there's a temple, with I don't know if it's a 10-mile radius or whatever the radius is, there should be no one that should go without prasadam within that 10-mile radius. And my next question would be, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one you can hear in the memories of Zorana Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. In the memories, there is one. There is this quote. Prabhupada says, "Yes, that's right. You know, during the Vedic times, there used to be dharmashalas or satram, anna satram. That's called as in South India, in Andhra Pradesh, and all. They are called as anna satram. And temples used to there was no hungry people like that because people used to come. They know if you go to temple, I'll tell you, At 12:15 every day in Melkotai, in Narasimha temple and down the Tirunarayana temple, you will get prasadam. At 12:15, if you're there, you can just stand in the queue, whether it may be rich, poor, beggar, non-beggar, whoever it is. If you just stand in the queue, everybody stands in one place. You just go there. And at 12:45 in Parthasarathi temple in Chennai, you can get prasadam. I know because various temples I used to go, and the timings I know when prasadam will be fed. In Udupi, since thousands of years, they are feeding prasadam. In Guruvayur, they are feeding prasadam. You go to any temple for that matter. It's not required. It's not the necessity of the temple to do. It is the king who organizes, because the temple is meant for giving prasadam. So the king organizes in such a way that there should be opulent bhoga offered to the Lord, and that bhoga which comes out and he gives to everybody, whoever it is. So it's the king's duty. It is the executive. It is the it is the king's duty to do that. It is not the temple does it. Over a period of time, the kings, the zamindars, they were taken over by the government, and actually, it is the government's duty to do it. They also preach. If you see the Annamrita video, they say in the video that government doesn't have any funds. What is nonsense? Government doesn't have any funds. Which rascal is saying government doesn't have any funds? And you have more funds. Yeah? There is one guy, Parimal. He's he is the official sponsor for Annamrita. He tells in the video that the government doesn't have much funds, and government gives a subsidy. Government can give subsidy to you, but government doesn't have funds. What is hypocrisy? Are you hypocrite? Who is telling? Government gives subsidy, and government gives subsidy for 4 rupees 50 paisa or whatever it is the per plate. It can give subsidy for you, but at the same time it doesn't have funds. What is this? Who are you fooling? So the thing is that no one should go. It's the Vedic, every temple, whoever it is, they can come and take prasadam. The implication of that doesn't mean that you go and give feed people. Uh, here, what is that? Akshay Patra is there somewhere in one place. They go all the way to villages which are interior villages, and they distribute. They distribute the food to whom? To the government schools, children of the government schools. So that is there. No one should go hungry within the 10 miles of the city, of the temple. No, it is just what I can say. A person should have an excuse to do something in such a way that it is like mm, it is their sense gratification. It has nothing to do with welfare or anything like that.
Should be complete with like prasadam distribution should be accompanied with Harinam Sankirtan.
Anyhow, see, the thing is that nobody will distribute just like that food. If in ISKCON there is a standard procedure to be followed, everybody knows we are doing it. It is not that everybody doesn't know. All proper disciples know how they were distributing prasad, how they were distributing Prabhupada. You see how, but did Prabhupada do all these things? Very simple, man. Prabhupada used to have very nice kirtan, and at the end, you see, in the Juhu, people used to come and Prabhupada used to feed with his own hand prasadam. And Lokanath Maharaj is standing nearby, is giving one plate. You see the videos. You show any one video where Prabhupada is organizing in a very big way the kitchen. See, one thing I'll tell you, this whole Akshay Patra temples, all the Hare Krishna movement is standing just on Akshay Patra. If Akshay Patra is collapsed, the whole temples of them are also collapsed. They will not have any standing on that. Their inspiration, their big slogans, big preachings are all based on Akshay Patra. If Akshay Patra is collapsed, that's why they have millions, billions, and millions of rupees. Even what to speak of that, they are in US also. They have a branch in US and they collect funds from here. 100 times $1 is 100 times more than rupee. So they're collecting here also. One lady was, remember, she came to me and said that I was working in Akshay Patra. Where in Bangalore? No, no, no. I was used to work in US. So they used to have a office here and they collect from home. US people, they don't give from Indians. You entice Indians, tell them all sorts of things, and whenever I see Akshay Patra people, I will fry them. I will have no mercy on these Akshay Patra rascal brahmacharis, so-called idiots. They don't have any philosophy. They just go from one place to another place, telling glories about their temple, and then get money for their get fundings for their so-called kitchen. What is that kitchen? Mechanized kitchen. Then what you're feeding? Some rice. Uh, and in one temple in ISKCON, they got the subsidy from the temple, from the government. They had rice bags and they were selling this to Western countries. They were importing it, this rice, putting in packets and labeling it as organic rice and then selling. They were caught. Uh, it came in the newspaper. I can show you the newspaper card. I have that. And next day morning, nothing. They were all given bribed. I know where is the temple, who is the authority. I know that particular, devotee. I don't want to say he or she is very famous on the YouTube now. Everybody wants to follow him. Everybody wants to catch that devotee's hand. Uh, they were caught and they bribed the authorities. And in India, it is very easy to bribe. Mhm. So it's all, and who knows what is happening? Crores and crores of rupees is siphoned by so many people. I know so many devotees, scammed 100 crores and crores of rupees from, I don't want to say which temple and all. They siphoned from the so-called poor feeding business and all. It's all money. Devotees should know that it's all money. It has nothing to do with welfare. Radha Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay,
One other question. Sorry.
yes.
Prashadam, regardless of, if it's Prashadam, doesn't it have an effect regardless if one is aware of it or not? I mean, isn't there a benefit in one taking Prashadam?
Obviously.
So then, I mean, I met a few devotees that, that mentioned like if it wasn't for Prashadam, they probably wouldn't be in Krishna consciousness. So whether
Okay.
did this distribute this in I don't know exactly what was maybe I'm misunderstanding. So what is the problem with distributing prashadam in a sense if it has the effect? Actually, I hear many times other devotees might have said if they didn't like kirtan, they didn't like the lecture, but prashadam was so powerful that it actually changed them over the period of time. So I mean, prashadam is very powerful. It seems like as well. I'm not saying that it's the only thing, but I'm saying like so. What's the problem with giving prashadam? I'm just curious.
What is one way prasad? I'm asking you the question.
Huh?
What is one way prasad?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, what did you
Okay.
say? I didn't hear what you.
Anybody can repeat for him?
He is saying, Prabhu, what is meant by prasadam?
Mercy.
Prasadam, prasadam.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is how prasadam? See, okay. The whole dynamics of prasadam works like this. You're able to hear?
Yes, Prabhu.
The voice is
Okay.
little
The
low,
whole,
but anyhow, we are able to hear.
my voice is low.
Yeah.
Why it is low? It is okay. 1 second. Let me put this now. Okay. Okay. Uh, just a second. How is it now? How is it okay?
Yeah, it is similar like to previous, but it is audible, but little low. That's what I'm saying.
अरे क्या हो रहा है? Okay, now it is audible. Now I am audible, I think. Hmm.
Yeah, now it is fine.
Okay. So the whole dynamics of prasadam works like this. Prasadam means bhoga prepared by devotees, and it is offered by devotees to Krishna with love and affection, and then it is served. Whether devotee may serve or non-devotee may serve, that's okay. But the point is that it is served also by devotees. That is meant by prasadam. But we don't know what's happening, because if you are feeding just the school children, it is done like that because you don't know what's happening in India. But let me tell you that most of the food distribution goes to the poor people. That is what the whole, you can see the flex, you can see the posters, you can see the way how it is advertised, how it is promoted. You can see uh, donate for two people, a pregnant woman and the child in the mother's womb, uh, like that. Donate for old people, donate donate for the children, needy, hungry children. This is what is the advertisement. So that means, are you giving food or prasadam? Okay, you may say that it is prasadam, but prasadam means you should be prepared by devotees. Devotees are not preparing. It is made by karmis. What they do is that they make them to chant Hare Krishna mantra once, and then they go and cook for thousands and thousands of people. And it is like a factory. It is like making. It's like US Foods. Like for example, there is a company called US Foods, Cisco Foods in US. What they do? They make batches. They make food containers in batches. They have 3 batches or 4 batches. People are 24 by 7. The ingredients are coming. The things are coming. People are cooking, and it is packed in containers, and it goes in big trailers to departmental store. You can, I think Ramdas Prabhu, you would have seen US Foods, the big trucks. I have seen that place where we went that side. I don't know where is that side. We were going towards Alpharetta. There is one big US Foods facility where there are big trailers are there. So it is the same way Akshay Patra works, or any kitchen, so-called kitchen managed by ISKCON or ISKCON Bangalore works. So it is not prasad. Prasad is not made like that. It is not a factory. It is more or less like a commercial organization. Okay, if it is prasad, then why you have a brand ambassador for Akshay Patra to tell people? And if you tell people that it is prasad, people, do you think that people are going to accept it? They will throw you away first of all. If you say that it is prasad, they will throw you away, because there are so many Muslims and Christians are going to take, and they will throw you. Hmm. It's not so easy to say prasad. It is food. It is food for life. That is what say food for life. It is food for death, as Jayadvaita Maharaj gave lecture and seminar on that. So it is
Thank you,
nothing
Prabhu.
wrong in giving prasad. So now you understood.
Yes,
So when
Prabhu.
it is done in a commercial way, it is no way prasadam. You go to Udupi, you will never feel the thing that is so commercial. Although they are giving it for free, Udupi, you go to Tirupati, you go to Guruvayur, you go to Melkotai, you go to any place, they will give prasadam to you, and no way people will think that they are feeding the poor. And just because people are saying, because it all started like this, people, general public, they are not satisfied with harinam, they are not satisfied with book distribution, they are not satisfied with the temple, they are not satisfied with the deities, because they don't want all those things. They used to always taunt devotees that, what have you done to the society? What have you done to the society? That is what is the every time is the complaint. I don't know whether devotees know this or not. They always say, "क्या किया तुमने समाज के लिए?" But whenever anything, you see nowadays, any problem comes to ISKCON, the first thing which comes out of the mouth of any leader for that matter is, "We have fed 3 million people through our prasad." They will tell prasad, but it is actually all food distribution. 3 million plates we have distributed, 5 million plates, 10 million plates. Whom are you fooling? You see, you go, what is that? In every temple nowadays, they started Ramanavami Annadan. What is that? What is that? Pitrupaksha Annadan. What is that? There is Akshay Tritiya Annadan. Did you see? Did anybody saw devotees saw? In YouTube it is there, in Facebook it is there, everywhere it is there. People used to afraid of this annadan. Devotees used to get afraid with not to put annadan. They will put food distribution. But nowadays they have crossed the limit. They are doing annadan. They are directly putting annadan. I don't know whether you noticed or not. At least they are doing it in Hyderabad. The whole Attapur temple was built on annadan only. That Marwadi fellow didn't give temple for building Krishna temple. He gave for Akshapatra, he gave for Annadan, and that temple is made. It's all political, Prabhu. It's all political. It has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. I'm sorry to use directly the names, but that is what happening. I know Sitaram Prabhu very nicely, but I don't want to say the names. But what? Okay, anyhow, Hare Krishna. Continue. Okay, Apuru Anand, you can, sorry, Sita Prabhu, you can read.
Sure, bro. We are not feeding the hungry people. We are feeding those who are not Krishna conscious. They may or may not be hungry. It doesn't matter. We don't discriminate whether he is rich or hungry, poor or rich. We invite everyone. Please take this Krishna conscious prasad. Be satisfied. That is our program. We don't discriminate. The ordinary charitable man discriminates. Oh, you are not poor, you are rich. Why shall I supply you? But we
Okay,
know.
I'll tell you my experience. I'll tell you my experience. Many times in book distribution, even in US, even in India, there are rich people who come to of course, rich means I'm talking about so-called material rich. Rich people means whatever it is. What my point is not about rich or poor. The point is that we used to say, why don't you take this book? No, no, no. I don't want. I have so many books. I say that, why don't you help us with a kind donation? No, no, I don't want to give you donation. You ISKCON people, you are very, very rich. So see, I want to give those people who are needy. He says like that. And some people come and give prasad. Yesterday, so many Ismailis, Ismaili Muslims, they gave donations. Yesterday I was in book distribution, so Ismaili Muslims, they come and give. He used to say that that boy who came, that Ismaili Muslim boy, he came to the book table and said, I'm giving you this $30. You give some Hindu guy who is unable to get Gita, you can give him Gita. That is greatest contribution. Can you imagine? He told me personally, I may not be able to read, but you give this Gita to a guy who is unable to purchase a Gita, you give him as a gift from my side. He told me. So the thing is that is had highest welfare activity, although he doesn't know anything about Krishna consciousness. But that is, and a particular so-called Hindu, he says that I don't want to give you people, and either I don't want to get Gita from you. I want to give a needy person so that he can be fed. So he is going to hell by doing that. Hare Krishna.
But we
Continue.
know everyone is poor for want of spiritual consciousness. Prasada distribution uplifts spiritually impoverished people, both poor and rich. We are distributing prasad. Not that because he is poor man we are giving prasad. No, that is not our idea. To our eyes, the so-called poor man and rich man are all suffering. Not that simply the poor man is suffering and the rich man is not. Therefore, we give them prasad. the prasad accepted by Krishna, offered to Krishna, is also Krishna. So if we give prasad, then he is getting the opportunity of associating with Krishna. That this is our idea. But people very much appreciate poor feeding. But everyone is poor. Who is rich?
You see, this is Prabhupada's idea. Who is rich? You show me a rich fellow. They say, see, I'll tell you one thing, is that Modi also shouts in the parliament, Arre, garibi hatao. Kaun sa garibi hai? Bahubali is earning 2,000 crores. KGF chapter 2 is earning 1,500 crores. There are so many movies are earning crores and crores and crores of money. Recently, Dhurandhar movie, that movie 1,500 crores, who is poor in India? Everybody is having a smartphone, everybody is seeing. There are more than how many millions and millions, billions of subscribers are there for Jio? Who is poor? Who is poor? Those who are poor, they don't claim to be poor. They work hard and whatever they have, they will eat that day over. They will, nowadays it is very fashion that they beg, but if you give him food, he will not take. He wants money. Why he wants money? So that he can take cigarettes, he can use for drugs, he can use for that. If we give him food, he will not take. You see? So the thing is that nobody is poor. Why are you unnecessarily propagating that he is poor, poor, poor? But nobody who is poor. Everyone is poor. Everyone who is rich. Okay.
Unless one has got knowledge of Krishna, he is poor. This prasada distribution means giving a chance to those who are poor in knowledge to awaken their Krishna consciousness. This is our policy. Otherwise, we cannot do any good to any others. Srila Prabhupada warned his disciples to maintain the spiritual perspective of seeing that everyone in the material world needs Krishna's mercy. Without that vision, prasada distribution is karma kanda.
Yes. This is that. Yes.
Prasada distribution is not a question of rich or poor. That will be karma kanda. Our program, therefore, is that we offer prasada to everyone. Make our temple so nice that everyone who comes is offered some prasada.
See,
Not that we are
every,
after poor.
yes, here, see, make our temple so nice that everyone who comes, that is more important. This is more important. This is more important. Everyone who comes, not that we go out. We may go out, but with kirtan and with book distribution, then prasadam. Okay, book distribution may not be there, but with kirtan. So kirtan means their temple is already Krishna is there. So make our temple so nice that everyone who comes is offered some prasad. Not that we are after poor men. You see, Prabhupada is very clear in his this one. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
It is nice that we are feeding 200 daily, but gradually try to increase. But do not advertise. We shall be self-advertising.
You see,
And
you see. You see, they do not advertise, but they are advertising. You see, अरे कितना ISKCON टेम्पल का हैंडल मैंने अपने स्टेटस में डाल के बताया कि व्हाट यू आर डूइंग ISKCON दिल्ली ISKCON द्वारका ISKCON व्हाट ISKCON and nowadays I'll show you something. Nowadays they have started using Dhurandhar movies characters, their so-called famous dialogues within the movie to tell chanting Hare Krishna. Can you imagine why you have to do like that? Huh?
oh yeah,
Why you have to do like this? I don't know whether you know this or not. I caught the attention of that, some famous dialogues of that movie, and they are putting tilak for that character, showing cartoon character and holding a chanting bag and telling to people to chant Hare Krishna. Why you are so enamored by that movie? I don't at all understand why you are taking that movie so seriously.
Prabhupada
अरे
said that
तुम
Krishna
लोग
consciousness has to enter all aspects of life, so they aren't. So they are
are
enamored by
you
that
mad?
statement.
You are enamored. You are not enamored. You are mad fellow. Okay. See, Prabhuji, Mataji is also selling. Yes, Prabhuji, we have seen that. Why you have to do that? Array, nowadays it has become a fashion to use nonsense debauchy songs of Bollywood as Hare Krishna mantra. Why you have to put Hare Krishna mantra to that? Why? There is no need. Hey, you are either you are brain dead fellow, or you either you are a you are a fool or a stupid person. You can't be other. Seriously. Yes, Prabhuji, read.
And do not go to poor areas. This is not our philosophy.
But it's telling
Our-
directly all these things, and you fellows are saying that I'm feeding 3 million people. Which 3 million people did you feed? You're going to the poor areas.
Our philosophy is prasada distribution without discrimination of rich or poor.
You're defying directly Prabhupada. It's Guru Avagya.
Hmm.
There is Guru Avagya. The first thing is you're advertising. When you advertise, what will happen? Okay, you may advertise, you are advertising for getting money, but actually you are advertising that we are the people who are feeding. Array Prabhupada said in one room conversation in Bombay with some social service person, social activist. He said that Vivekananda, like, where you got this Daridra, and he said Vivekananda, this Prabhupada said Vivekananda did this nonsense Daridra and Seva for 100 years. Still people are poor. What nonsense is this? You read that for 100 years, still people are full. You have this in the folio. You can read it. Vivekananda did this Daridra and Seva for 100 years, but still people are poor. He will say, Prabhupada will say. And why you go to the poor areas? Do not go to the poor areas. That is not our philosophy. You see, we have to go to the poor areas to do kirtan. We don't go to Dalit areas. That's why the people, we don't go to Dalit areas. We don't go to slum areas. We go to any posh areas. Can you imagine? Do we go? No, we don't go. We go for these posh areas and collect funds. We don't go. Going in United States is very tough to these, so-called Bowery areas or anything. You will be in very great trouble. That's another thing. But in India, it is not like that. We can go and distribute prasadam. We can do nice kirtan. We can distribute Bhagavad Gita also. But we don't go because वहां जाके क्या फायदा हमको थोड़ी ना flex मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा. You don't get flexed there so much. Okay, what can be done? Okay, tomorrow we will continue with this. Today we will stop here. Tomorrow, another chatpata and another hot topic. Chapter 3, mundane welfare work and genuine compassion. Okay, devotees will have to say something, or of course, they have said in their messages, or this one still, if devotees want to speak, Mataji's, Prabhuji's, they can speak out.
So
You are
probably
free
when
to
we see
speak.
that, when we
Yes.
see that sometimes things are not going well within the broader Vaishnava society, and we as sadhakas, like how we should practice, and like should we collaborate, how we can follow and follow Srila Prabhupada's as instructions. If
Like, for example, yeah, your
yeah.
question is like this. The answer to this is through one example. Like, for example, you are chanting and walking and chanting.
Mm.
Okay, you are walking,
Mhm.
walking. Suddenly, you tumble down. You are unable. You immediately, you don't see a step. You don't see a step. You know,
Mm.
and then there is a step. You thought that it is a straight road, but there is a step you didn't see. You either get tumbled down, and then you again you just you just stuck over there with that step or the hump, whatever it is, or you go forward. What do you do with your chanting?
Step above that.
नहीं समझा नहीं आप लोगों ने. देखिए, when you are walking and chanting, sometimes you step on something else, or there is some step, or there is something which you didn't see while walking, and then you
Mm.
just step over on that, or you just you tumble down over there. and then you continue walking and chanting. That because your chanting is main business, not that you get stuck with that something else which is coming in stuck in between. You
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So in Vaishnava society, so many things happen. So many things happen. Sometimes very great things happen. Sometimes deviations happen. What we should do is that Hare Krishna बोल के आगे बढ़ते ही जाना है बस.
Mhm. Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's
What
right. And
what we can do? We are walking, but sometimes we see that so many flowers are there. Okay, very nice flower. Okay, we don't get distracted by our chanting. Okay, nice flower. Okay. Our most important activity is to chant, go walking and chanting. And sometimes we see that this is there, that is there. Okay, anyhow, that is there, this is there. What is the point? Okay, go on chanting. That is the point. So in Vaishnava society, so many people are there. It is a big society. So sometimes many deviations happen. As a preacher, if you are unable to speak to the people who are under you and try to change them and then try to correct them, that's fine. But you can't change the whole big society. If it changes, that's fine, but you can't expect that one to happen. But what you can do for yourself or for those people who are under you is to you explain. Like, for example, we have this mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj has written this book. Maharaj is writing with the whole broader society, but whoever accepts its instructions, they are well enough, well placed in Krishna consciousness. But if you don't follow, it's not Maharaj can do anything for that matter, or devotees who are reading, like we are reading it. No broader devotees or ISKCON devotees are participating. But if they participate, that's fine. If they don't participate, what fate can be done? Some people don't. So in ISKCON also it's like that, right? Broader Vaishnava society as sadhakas. That's why we don't get disturbed by all these things. We just go on, and whoever comes to us, we give them genuine Krishna consciousness as it is what Prabhupada spoke, and then we go on with our sadhana. That's all. What more you can do? If you become a leader, try to change something in such a way that is you become a Prabhupada man. Now, Prabhupada men are lacking. That is the problem. We need a Prabhupada man who can lead the society very nicely. Now, we have people, but they're not Prabhupada men. I'm sorry to say like that. Anything else? Anybody wants to say something or add something? So, Asita Prabhu, is it okay for you?
yeah, 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 definitely.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody wants to say? And specifically, there are many Matajis. They can't say anything. There's so many things going on within ISKCON, and their guru says something else. It happens.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Their guru, Prabhujis can speak out. Matajis, how they can speak out, Matajis can tell few Matajis. They can't tell to any Prabhuji. And they can't tell to some Mataji also because they are elderly Matajis or somebody. But what can be done? They should follow their guru, that's all. What guru says, whatever guru instructs them, that's all they can do. They can't do more. Uh, if it is favorable for their to what their guru says, then it is fine. Otherwise, just do your business. So many devotees, they don't attend their local temples. They think that it is a botheration for them, and they don't attend classes also. They have online classes. They chant the Hare Krishna mantra. They are also progressing. Nowadays, it has become like that. There are so many devotees who preach online and they don't go to their local temples. They're chanting 60 notes. They just go to their yatras. Whenever that devotee who is organizing these online sessions, he takes them to the yatra. If that is happening, if that can happen to them, then we can genuinely also follow what Krishna consciousness is through online and through this one. It's not that everybody has to be face to face. Yes, face to face. That's why Maharaj is giving again and again these yatras in North India, South India, East India, West India. Why Maharaj does like this? Shravan Kirtan campaign, Mayapur Shravan Kirtan campaign, Kurukshetra Shravan Kirtan campaign in somewhere in Russia or Georgia, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in United States, somewhere in South India. Why Maharaj is conducting? So that he can get association. Otherwise, online, how much it's not so fruitful. So Mataji is what they can say. So they are more nowadays, actually, more than Prabhuji's, Mataji is under more attack than anything through many ways, I would say. because feministic attitudes, the cinema, movies, love jihad, they have to protect their children so that they will not be kidnapped. These big cities like Gurgaon, um, Noida, Delhi, Hyderabad, everywhere this abduction is going on, human trafficking. So they have to protect their children. So many things. Our devotees don't know what they are doing. We don't. We are. That's why Prabhupada wanted this farm community so that we can leave these
Paul
places.
said that the daughters of his disciples should not go to schools, karmi schools. He said like
Yeah,
that.
but what can be done? How much? See, they don't want to send, but they are obliged to do because of their family, society. See, one Prabhuji told me, Prabhuji, you are a brahmachari, you don't know, you are alone. But for me, it is not me. It is not me. Mataji is also there, their father and mother, my mother and father, my children. It's not so easy to just say like this. So I can say so many things over here online, but I'm a brahmachari, I can say so many things. But so many people have so many entanglements and all those things within their perspective. Right? It's not so easy to chant Hare Krishna. And those devotees who have joined the farm communities, you can understand what is their level of surrender.
Jai.
Although after going there also matters. You know, some devotees are running after sevas and they are not able to chant. They are again that. And I have seen in farms, I don't want to name the farm, in our farms, they were running around, they were chanting at night and all. Did God want to do? They don't have time. After going to the farm also, they are unable to read, make time for reading. What to do? You know, they don't have time for reading, even in farm community also. But slowly, that's it. Because there is a opportunity, there is chance that future you can mold your life in such a way that you can have chance. But what I'm saying is that a person who is unable to chant, unable to read, he cannot read even in farm also. If you put it. I know Maharaj servants, they don't have time for reading anything during Maharaj service. They cannot chant their rounds also properly. But I have seen some devotees, even if the Maharaj goes to the west for 3 months, sometimes, you know, every time Maharaj goes to the west for 3, 4 months, still they are unable to sit and chant their rounds. You know, it's like that for them. You can't make them to sit and chant their rounds. They're always running. They can't sit and read. They can't read. It is like that for them. You can't do anything. So I know I don't want to say their names. They changed their ashram now, and they're very good. They're good devotees. But the point is that it is their guna is like that. You can't change your nature by night and night, overnight. Okay, anyhow, where we are started and where we are going. Okay, anyhow. Hare Krishna. Pancha kalpataruvesya kripa sindhebhyevacha paritanapa. Sorry, Matajis are not speaking. I don't know whether you are with me or not, but I hope you are able to understand it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, Pancha kalpataruvesya kripa sindhebhyevacha paritanapa. Vaishnav Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. His Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Krishna.
But tomorrow is we don't have tomorrow. I think. Okay, Monday. That's fine. Saturday, Sunday we don't have. Hare Krishna.
Okay.